Hi, I am starting a new voice video, and it's in progress of the first one that I did, which was reading from a German phrase book, which was kind of a tongue-in-cheek explanation for why I don't have anything new coming up, because I tried it again in my reading prompt. I just don't have the longevity to read a story and then not pause every so often, since I had the long bout about the RSA this year. Or what I'm saying is, I was really disappointed, and I was trying to maybe find some shorter stories, but it just doesn't work out for me, and I don't have an implementation to start and stop. I would have to post up, a few minutes at a time, and I just think it's too messy. So I wish, I could do a very casual German lesson. When I was reading my German phrase book, I thought, this is kind of interesting, reading out loud. I think most people have that condition when they're trying to learn a language from a phrase book. They think it would be interesting just to read it out loud and make people listen to them, because they have to listen to themselves. So I do mean it in a sense of that it's extremely lame, but in the other sense of that, just for audio, which basically I'm doing anyways, just to have an uploaded audio and say, hey, I spend my time uploading audios to YouTube, and I don't even make gurgling sounds during them. I laugh too much. I realize that. This is because I'm saying everything impromptu. I'm not thinking that I have a large audience, and I'm not thinking that I should be insulting to a small audience by any means. I don't by any means think that at any time. But I guess I'm still blown away by the fact that it took me a long time to make that plan, just to do something so casual. And, after a couple of months, it was finished. So I had maybe a year or two laid out on finding the time to do it, and having it, and setting it up, and looking for my resources, and thinking it was going to be a lot of fun. Okay, that was ridiculous. So, interestingly enough, I thought that was a lot of fun, but that phrase book is going to get difficult for me pretty soon. I'm learning German and Spanish very, very slowly. I have actually very little time for hobbies, because I putter around so much, and I do that, I think, amateurishly, professionally. I keep myself together by doing a lot of odd things, and I don't have time for other hobbies, because then they'll become important to me, like happens to a lot of people. Anyway, just to say it vaguely. So I've been trying to keep my channel open with uploaded, as you can see, video shorts from Paint by Numbers. I understand that it would have to probably come to mind that, I have time to do a paint by number or a puzzle or a jigsaw puzzle, and I don't have time to put together a new short, kind of like I'm talking here now for so many minutes. I could have been reading. I mean, it might seem strange, but having to read and concentrate from a reading page and go on and just talking generally instead is not the same thing for me. It's just too strenuous to keep going without stopping every so often, whereas I find it easy just to keep talking for some reason. That doesn't make me look too good. Anyway, I thought, so I'm doing that. I'm really enjoying that. It doesn't take me a heck of a lot of time, and I'm a very avid gamer. I have, like I said, I have a lot of hobbies. I'm not going to list them here. I'm not available by any means to become more personal with anybody. I live a strangely private life, and it's probably all for the best. I don't do a lot of social kinds of things. I just keep to myself, and so I'm not really describing myself in any depth that it needs to be established for a personal relationship kind of thing with anyone. But, just to overview where I'm coming from, so you don't get a strange idea that I might be meaning something that I don't, or I don't mean something some other way that I do. It gives a little perspective on what I'm saying to know me a little better. So now you do. There's really not. I'm kind of shallow too. There's not much more. Anyway, I decided to get some more phrase books just to help me, because I don't have a history of studying languages by any means happily, and I've always wanted to speak other languages. I speak very little Italian. My family was Italian, and I don't really have much connections to my own culture anymore, as happens to a lot of Italians. And I, have come in contact with a lot of Spanish, obviously, because in America there's, many, many Spanish speakers. So I'm very familiar with the language, for some reason, German as well. I feel very inducted into German and Spanish culture. Italian culture is getting hard to find except in a Pizza Palace place. Anyway, but it seems that way to me. And, excuse me, I have so many horrible remnants of the past year, and trying to stay away from it all these other years that I was successful in. It's really kind of sad. And what was I getting at? So I think I'm going to waste all this time just to make another introduction. I'm slamming my books on my little computer desk table, where I have them beside myself, and I was going to introduce them because I have to look them over better to do any more work. I have two very interesting books that could be interesting for this, and another dictionary, which is a good reference for us that I got specifically for this purpose, and also just to have another excellent reference book. I got these from, here I can give a big plug that I had planned on doing, Better World Books, which have tremendous sales, of course, and who also sell my books, which is all the plug I'm going to give for myself. And they are competing usually with half-price books with my books. I always am happy when I get complaints from either one of them that my books are not easy to find when somebody is placing it on demand for discount because nobody wants to pay the regular prices. And I'm really grateful because even though I don't make anything but a few pennies on anything like that, discount bookstores, it keeps me fluid, to having my title out, so whatever it is, or titles. So I'm really thrilled about that. And I am not, I don't know how to explain that I have books. It's nothing really that important except in a community of people who might write books. It has no celebrity intention towards it. It's just like a book habit for writing, and then it goes on for sale. It makes me a very few dollars. Or none at all, frankly. But it thrills me to death, and I need to get back to it, but honestly, it was the coronavirus that put a complete stop to it, and then I have a lot of other things going on that I just can't, I can't get settled on doing any one thing, so I was flipping through what I can call a hobby, because I have like a little bit of extra free time, and it's driving me insane off the wall, trying to get centered so I don't go crazy, and I just can't. I suppose I'm going to have to take up meditating more seriously than I have in the past, but I'm going to try everything else first. So, I bought Lonely Planet, German Phrasebook and Dictionary, and then DK, I forgot, they're an educational company. 15-minute German, learned just in 12 weeks, and it has an audio app, but I didn't get it because I didn't want it. And then the Oxford Beginner German Dictionary, which is the reference that I said I bought, because this is, you don't want to turn down the opportunity for getting an Oxford dictionary of any kind that could be useful. I mean, you don't want to get every single one that's available, but if you get a sale on something that's applicable, Oxford, is still always going to be a leader. I suppose that's Collins and Merriam-Webster, and any kind of reputable dictionary company is always going to be a leader, but you don't want to push aside Oxford just because it has that, old school name on it. So I got that as well. Let me get up and, I'm sorry, I have a little room. I had to put this aside. So I put my dictionary away with my Collins phrasebook and my Collins dictionary for German. I'm also decided that I study on variable apps. I have like 3 different language apps, and I tried several different languages, and the best ones that I was working with were the 2 that I'm studying, and then also Norwegian. I did pretty well with that. Don't ever have time, and actually, my hobby time is not enough to put in more time to my study, because when I study a little bit more seriously, it takes up quite a bit of time. So what I had started to say was that I don't like studying languages. I can't cover that up anymore. Some people have a love of languages, and I do. I appreciate language as, a vehicle for story and communication, but to actually sit and learn it is nothing that I enjoy. So the apps that they have today make things a little bit more enjoyable, but it takes forever to get to start to end to actually teaching yourself, because you have to basically teach yourself and review and look things up to get to a point where you're actually more fluent than just a few phrases. And it's driving me crazy because I'm now turning over my apps and anything that I can over to German to try and learn German much better, and of course that teaches you that you don't have really any handle on it but a few words and some construction. So it's pretty disappointing to find out that you can put in that many literal years, a few minutes a day, and they say you could be fluent, but you could also learn nothing and have to tell yourself to stick to it because you've actually learned quite enough, and then you could just simply forget it. And so that's where I'm at right now. I don't want to forget anything. I've learned a lot of really basic beginner things, and I had to struggle to get that together. Not that I'm stupid or anything, but it's just not my topic. It's not like, reading a story and thinking about it, or, solving some riddle or something. I'm actually not that good with riddles. I shouldn't say that. So anyway, I thought I'd just get introduce these two books because I'm going to study them a little bit more on my own, and then maybe on occasion, don't worry that nobody's obligated to listen to this. If I get no listeners, I'm seriously going to understand. As they say, I have lots of things going on my own and hobbies, and I like being vague besides. So, I've been with YouTube for as long as it's been around, and I see channels, and I'm sometimes the only population in one place, and I'm always so grateful when somebody thinks enough to put a video on, and there's nobody else watching it, but I really enjoy it, and they leave it there. YouTube is such a wonderful community that way. So if your video never gets listened to or seen, so what? That's just part of YouTube. So you did it, you put it there, and there it is. All right. I can't get rid of this cough. Really disturbing. Okay. Yeah, reading doesn't help. Reading out loud doesn't help. Talking, if I don't tire myself out. I talk quickly and erratically I have a mental problem all the time. I've been this way all my life, and I'm tired of people telling me that, so I like to tell them that so they don't have to worry about it. Okay, so the German Phrasebook and Dictionary from Lonely Planet is basically just it says travel phrases, and then it has a dictionary, and then it has a lot of encouraging words at the beginning of it that I thought I would read, since I'm not encouraging anybody to take my thing seriously. I'm just reading out loud on a page to keep it going, and this will help me practicing reading from a page. This is just a few paragraphs off of two tiny little pages, whereas I don't know, I think it takes longer. Okay, so it says, why bother? Don't be put off by the fact that German tends to join words together to express a single notion. It's not hard to tell parts of words, and you'll have fun recognizing the Football World Cup qualifying match, that's a phrase they're quoting, hidden within Fußball Weltmeister Qualifikationsspiel. Yeah, it's terrifying when you see those words coming at you. They have, as they confess when you learn, German has the longest strings of letters to words in any language that is a Latin-based alphabet language. I don't know if there are some small-spoken Asian languages which are very, ancient-oriented, which have longer strings of letters, but they're not Latin alphabet. And then some Native American languages that are still, like ancient languages will have so many letters in one word. But as far as the Latin alphabet, I think it's, excluding Latin and Greek is a different alphabet. It's crazy. Modern or Romance languages. Wow. I'm still trying to get oriented to that. That's putting me off. But really, like they all say, it's not that hard. So, distinctive sounds, the U with two dots over it, pronounces A with rounded lips, plus the throaty K, like in the Scottish loch. So it's K, or in the name of Bach. And R, a bit like gargling, like ach. They're distinctive sounds in the language. So now you know them there. U as in E, and then K as in ach, and then R as in Yeah, but if you're speaking, an accent is just, personal then. So German in the world, there are 100 million people who speak German as their first language and 80 million people who speak German as their second language. It's not usually described as romantic, but its role in science has long been recognized. And I thought German was a romantic language, and the German language lays claim to some of the most famous works ever printed. Just think of the influence of Goethe, Nietzsche, Freud, and Einstein. Yeah. Marvelous to read all of them in German. Each year, the Gesellschaft für Deutsche Sprache, Society for German Language, publishes an Unwort des Jahres, Unword of the Year, and several runners-up, usually unloved words that dominated the media that year. The 2010 Unword was Alternativelos, meaning without alternatives. Okay, I don't know what that was for. Then it says, false friends. Warning, many German words look like English words but have a different meaning altogether. For example, Chef means boss, not chef, which is Koch in German. The word for chef is Koch. And then the language family, West Germanic is close relatives with English, Dutch, Afrikaans, Frisian, and Yiddish. Yeah, okay. I think the cliche that German influenced English to being what it is in the modern tongue is absolutely true, but I said that the last time I was doing a segment of, this is now segment 2, of reading from a German phrase book. And then the language, of course, everybody knows this, has made many donations to English. You may recognize kindergarten, kitsch, waltz, hamburger, and poodle. I didn't know poodle. I thought poodle was French. So German is not a romantic language. Romantic languages are only Portuguese, Spanish, and French. I thought all European languages that were Latin-based were. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so 5 phrases. This is for learning how to travel there. 5 phrases. So after I read this, I'm going to quit because, as I said, I was just introducing the book. And then I'm going to start with actual phrases when I read from this. And I'm not going to have any more personal introductions. I hope not. Anyway, that would mean that something terrible happened to my ability to be here. And also, this probably won't be a regular show, as I say. It's going to be far and few in between. But just in case, have a tongue-in-cheek narration of a thing until maybe, I hope at some point I can go back to doing a read-aloud story. I don't know. I have a friend who's going to help me put some things together, but I can't now. It's just not good for my health, I guess. So, 5 phrases to learn before you go to Germany. Do you accept credit cards? Nehmen Sie Kreditkarten. So Kreditkarten is the word for credit card. Credit, and most C words are written with a K. So if it's a credit card in English, it would be a credit card in German, but it would be written with a K, credit, and K, card, and all one word. Nehmen means actually take, and S-I-E is the formal word for you. Du, I think I covered this before, du is the informal word for you. Nehmen Sie Kreditkarten. And which beer would you recommend? Welches Bier empfehlen Sie? Which beer? Welches Bier? B-I-E-R is beer. Welches means which, or Welch means which. But since this is, okay, the plural agreement in German is ridiculous, as is the feminine and masculine case of everything. So since it's implied that there are more than one beers on the table and you're choosing which beer, it's always as a case per genitive question of what it would be. It's hypothetical of what would be singular or plural. So your phrase means that which one of these beers standing in front of me would you recommend? So it's not which one, it's which of these, plural. Welches instead of Welch without an S on the end, which in a task would mark it wrong because there's more than one beer on the table while you're talking about it. It's not the singularity form of the beer itself, it's that there are many beers on the table. It's ridiculous. Welches Bier empfehlen Sie? Which beer would you recommend? So empfehlen is recommend, Sie is you in the formal. Can I get this without meat? Kann ich das ohne Fleisch bekommen? Bekommen means get or receive. I'm learning words now too. So kann, K-A-N-N, not C-A-N by any means. Ich is I-C-H. Das, D-A-S, means this. Indicative for something you're pointing at and saying it's this. Ohne, O-H-N-E, means without. Mit, M-I-T, means with. So now we know with and without. With is M-I-T, mit. And ohne, O-N-E, O-H-N-E is without. Kann ich das, can I this, ohne, without, fleisch, bekommen. Meat is always, unless they have a word for meat, but I forget. When they're talking about essen, which means food, E-S-S-E-N, and it's food, when they're talking about food, like to serve, fleisch just refers to meat. Bekommen, can I get it? Kann ich das ohne Fleisch bekommen? Can I this without flesh get? Once again, it has the Old English structure, the Old English syntax. That's Old English. Not Old English. That's Middle English syntax. Can I this get without? Can I this get without flesh? Can I this without flesh get? That's older than the one that I'm used to, which is can I this get without flesh? I'm having a lot of trouble with that with German. Einen nicht. I'm sorry. Rauchertisch. Einen nicht Rauchertisch, bitte. Non-smoking table, please. Einen, meaning it's the word for a, and this is again the plural on the singular agreement with things. So the plural and singular agreements with nouns also have a feminine and a masculine agreement that it has to make. So you'll have a very long word to mean a. So ein, E-I-N, or E-I-N-E is the word for or but with an E on the end of it, it's feminine, and without an E, it's masculine. And if it's einen, that it has E-N, I don't know the rule for that. It either means plural, or I'm trying to find the place where I studied it that it has. It has to be. It's only used in reference to a masculine word that you would add en to the word. It doesn't necessarily mean plural, or it would mean a plural noun. So I'm sorry of my ignorance on that. And in this case, it's an einen Rauchertisch bitte, but it's nicht without Rauchertisch, no smoking. That one's brand new to me. Do you run original versions? Spielen auch original Versionen? So, spielen auch means, what does that mean? Original versions. Do you also, auch would mean also, I think. I should have looked that up. Let me look it up very quickly. While I'm sorry, I came unprepared. I even reviewed this page. All right, well, it's going to take me too long. English. Okay, well, that's coming up. So, spielen means play, and original versioning means just original version. This is one of those examples of very long words put together that have to be this way according to the German language rule. Versionen, N-E-N at the end, means plural, otherwise it would be Version without the E-N. So E-N also stands for plurality in many cases. Also, yeah, auch means also. So do you run original versions? So do you play also original versions is what that actually literally means. Okay. Then a few extra words. 10 phrases to sound like a local. These aren't phrases. These are just short words. So hey is hey. Great is toll, T-O-L-L. Cool is Spitze, Spitze, S-P-I-T-Z-E. No problem, I love this one. Kein Problem. Sure means klar, K-L-A-R, klar. Maybe, vielleicht. They use that a lot. It looks like a difficult word, but it's not. Vielleicht. V-I-E-L-L-E-I-C-H-T. Vielleicht. You hear it too often. You can't forget it. When you first see that, you think you'll go crazy. No way. Auf keinen Fall. You hear that too often too. It's okay. Alles klar. They also say alles gut in one of my things. G-U-T, all is, it's okay. Everything's okay. Alles gut. But here they say alles klar. What a pity is just the one word schade. And doesn't matter. Macht nix. So that's the end of this one. And then it goes on to like school things, pronunciation, the kind of important things you need to actually be able to speak, read, whatever. So there's grammar then, and I'm going to go over this and then pick out some phrases the next time, which won't be. Okay, this one is the next book, and I'm seriously going to very slightly overview this because I'm getting tired, and I'm sure everybody else has been tired of me. So I'm so unorganized, I really am. Honestly, if I put more time in organization, I wouldn't be able to sit here and talk. I can't get too organized without thinking that it's a lost cause. So this is an explanation. I just looked at this a few minutes ago before I started this. Okay, I was going to do the first 2 pages of week 1. As it says, it's you learn it in just 12 weeks by doing it 15 minutes a day. Yeah, I'm not going to do that here. But I'm going to overview a couple of pages every so often and see how it goes. So, see, right here, I wish I could take a break. But I had told myself that I was going to give a short introduction, again, reminding them my horrible tragedy for this year and all the confusion that I'm in trying to find a new hobby. And then what I decided on, and then overview these 2 books, and I went on too long, so. Guten Tag, that's how you say hello. And so it says, in formal situations, Germans greet each other with a handshake. They are addressed with the title Herr, H-E-R-R, for men, and Frau, for women, F-R-A-U, and a last name. Nowadays, the title Fraulein, Miss, is rarely used for adult women. Young people may greet each other with a kiss on the cheek. That's just for formality. I should have not said that. Okay, now words to remember in greetings. So it's Guten Tag, is hello or good day. Tag means day, and good is just Guten Tag. Guten Abend, Nacht, or Guten Nacht. Guten Abend means good evening, and Guten Nacht means good night. Abend means evening or night, and Nacht is actually the word for night. So yeah, Abend is evening. Bis bald means see you soon, and bis morgen means see you tomorrow. Morgen, sorry, my pronunciation. So I'll review the spelling in a minute. Auf Wiedersehen, everybody hears this on movies, is goodbye. And Tschüss is the informal way of saying goodbye. So Tag is written T-A-G, that's the word for day, and Guten is G-U-T-E-N. And then Abend is A-B-E-N-D, and Nacht is N-A-C-H-T. Morgen, M-O-R-G-N, like the name, and Bald, B-A-L-D. Bis is B-I-S. And then Auf Wiedersehen. Okay, that's a long one. Tschüss is spelled T-S-C-H-U with 2 dots over the U and S-S. These are so ordinary to find you never quit seeing them, and you learn them too easily if you're actually going to study on a regular basis. So here's a conversation that's formal. Guten Tag, ich heiße Martina Lee, which says, hello, my name is Martina Lee. And then the person she's meeting, Guten Tag, Michael Brand, freut mich. So he said, hello, Michael Brand, pleased to meet you. And then she says, freut mich, pleased to meet you. Freut mich is F-R-E-U-T-M is one word, the second word, mich, M-I-C-H. It just means pleased to meet you. Like nice to meet you, but it's more like I am pleased to meet you. It's so slang, I wouldn't happen to know where the origin of that is. But mich means me, so that Freud has to say it all for you. Anyway, ich heiße, we went over this last time, H-E-I, the funny way of S, the old-fashioned Middle English way of the S. I forgot what that's called, I'm sorry, followed by an E. Heise, it's a double S, I think they said. And when I read it once, it means, Heisen is my name, so it's more like it's an active verb for I call myself. I'm sorry that I'm being so vague. I told you I just don't, spark to the perfect order of language, but, I'm learning. So, guten Abend, Herr Gohl. That means good evening, Mr. Gohl. Herr Gohl, Mr. Gohl. Guten Abend, A-B-E-N-D, good evening. So you'd say good evening back, and it would be guten Abend. And then he goes, she says, ich heiße Ilse Gerlach. And then he says, freut mich. My name is Ilse Gerlach. And then he says, pleased to meet you, freut mich. F-R-E-U-T, freut mich, M-I-C-H. You'd be surprised how when you're speaking German and you think you're mispronouncing everything, you're only mispronouncing a few things, and you ought to be careful to correct those few things, because they'll come back and bite you. Because the language just sounds extremely foreign. There are, as it says, there's 180 million speakers in the whole world, but there's, billions of people in the whole world. So, and then finally we review your name. What's your name? Wie heißen Sie? That's formal. My name is Thomas. Ich heiße Thomas. Pleased to meet you. Freut mich. Thank you. Danke. The word for thank you is danke, D-A-N-K-E. Bitte is please, B-I-T-T-E. And so the end of an informal conversation, the end of this is an informal conversation. Also, bis morgen. So, will I see you tomorrow? Also, so, will I see you tomorrow? Bis morgen, see you tomorrow. Ja, auf Wiedersehen. Yes, goodbye. Tschüss, bis bald. Goodbye, see you soon. So also, tschüss, bis bald. Goodbye, see you soon. But I'll be here doing my little paint by number uploads, because those are fun, and I think it keeps my channel moving. And I know it makes no sense that I have no time for things but that, but coincidentally it's easy to do, and frankly I'm just doing those now anyway. Okay. At the end of this all, I have a raging cough attack, and I'm sorry. Okay. I didn't plan that either. Everyone have a very good life until I talk to you again.